All right, let's jump to the NFC Championship Preview. So we're gonna stay talking on the Bucks a little bit. Uh, so why don't you go ahead and give your score prediction for the Packers and Bucks?
So it's interesting. I was watching ESPN earlier today, and they said that both these AFC and NFC championship games are Week 6 rematches this year. So, um, I feel like I feel like for me, with this game though, I feel like the Packers would want to have revenge. These teams are definitely different teams than they were back in Week 6. The Bucks seemed a bit more unstoppable early on, but then kind of slowed down. But they kind of picked up momentum again. And the Packers were in a weird like funk at the time, but then definitely picked up since then. It's gonna be. I feel for me. I feel like this is gonna be a higher scoring game. I feel like this will probably come down, to how well this team's play in the cold weather because this is a Tampa Bay Buccaneers team. Tampa Bay is a pretty warm area. I know Brady's used to playing in the cold, but that it is something to consider for the other players that are so used to being located in Tampa Bay. With AB potentially being out for the game, and then if Chris Godwin stays inconsistent, I do see the Packers taking advantage of that because, like you said earlier in the podcast, that secondary for the Packers been nothing to really, nothing short of talented because Jair Alexander leads that secondary as he's one of the best corners in the NFL right now. For me, I just feel like the Packers are going to I'd probably say squeak this one out 34-31.
Wow, that's pretty close to my prediction. I also have the Packers squeaking it out, but by a little bit more. I have the Packers 34-28. Uh, you know, the thing with the Bucks is, their run defense is incredible. I believe they do have the number one run defense right now. Their secondary looked better than usual last week because of, in my opinion, the play of Drew Brees. Um, I don't think they're going to have that repeat kind of performance with Aaron Rodgers. I mean, Aaron Rodgers, he's just playing on a different level right now, a different level than Drew Brees, especially, but also on a different level than Brady, in my opinion. Uh, I just think, Devontae Adams, he finds a way to feast no matter who's on him. They're going to find a way to get him involved, even if it's through, jet sweep or something. They'll find a way to get him involved and get him to touch the ball because they know when Devontae Adams gets his targets, gets his touches, he's going to help lead your team to victory. So, I expect Matt LaFleur to pull some tricks out of his bag for this game. And obviously, like we're talking about before, Green Bay secondary is very good. Um, and, the run defense is a little bit sus. I do believe Ronald Jones is set to come back. That could be very, very good for the Buccaneers. But at the same time, you know, this Packers team is also the same one that, kind of shut Derrick Henry down earlier in the season. They could do it again if Ronald Jones starts feasting. I do believe in this team to be able to uh, read the offense a little bit, maybe throw out a blitz to try and stop the run. And I just don't. Tom Brady's the GOAT. Let me put it out there. He's the greatest quarterback of all time in terms of at least legacy. But you know, I don't trust him against this defense. I don't trust him against the Packers defense. A lot of his throws are sus. Like I said, he almost had two more picks in last night's game. And if he against the Packers, if those two picks kind of fall in the right place, if he gets a little bit unlucky with where he throws it, that could spell the game for them straight up. Because you do not want to give this Green Bay offense any type of opportunities, for short yardage possessions at all.
No, you do
Uh,
not.
that's not going to be the way you're going to win this game at all. That's going to definitely lead to your downfall. I do think that Brady will throw a couple, costly picks in this game, and that's why I have the Packers kind of squeaking out there 34-28. Because even though the Bucks' run defense is incredible and Aaron Jones probably isn't going to do much again, you know, they still can throw a couple screens to Aaron Jones, and they can, set their running game up by throwing well. So, maybe they'll run a little trick play where they have Aaron Jones, where they fake a pass and they let Aaron Jones just run it up the middle or something. I think Green Bay will find a way. I really believe in their head coach. I can't say the same about the Bucs. I don't really believe in Bruce Arians and Tom Brady. But this could go either way. This really could go either way.
Yeah, I have right now just the way Packers offense has been looking. I just have a lot more faith in the Packers to step up this game and really you know get the revenge, because what happened in the regular season was not something we ever see from Aaron Rodgers. I think that was definitely his worst game of the season. He had no passing touchdowns in the game and had 2 interceptions, but he's just been playing so lights out since then. I just cannot see this team losing.
Yeah. Let's jump to the AFC Championship with the Chiefs versus the Bills. You know who I'm going to pick, and I know who you're going to pick, most likely, because we picked these two to go to the Super Bowl. So our predictions are looking pretty good right now.
Yeah.
Why don't you go ahead and give me your scores first?
For me, what happens in this game is contingent on the status of Mahomes, of course. The concussion protocol is a legitimate protocol. There's 5 steps to it. It's pretty lengthy. They say they might not see real results until maybe Wednesday, Thursday time frame, which is cutting it kind of close to when the game's supposed to happen. I just feel like if Mahomes is playing, the Chiefs will probably win. And if Mahomes is not playing, I feel like the Bills will easily win. I wouldn't say, I would say easily win that game. The Bills haven't looked the greatest in this playoff run. Let's be honest, they really haven't. But they are playing winning football. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter, if it's a big win or a small win. A win's a win. This team finds ways to win in spite of, some things not going their way, such as the running game. So for me, the scores, if Mahomes is back and healthy, I think the Chiefs win 25-21. If he's not, I feel like the Bills win 19-10.
Some pretty low scores.
I do not see this to be a high-scoring game at the moment.
I do want to say that I do believe this will be a much more defensive battle than a lot of people will think. But I still have some pretty high scores, so I'm confident that Mahomes will play. I don't think he's going to miss this playoff game. I don't think, I think the team, if anything, might cut some corners just to kind of squeak him by the concussion protocol. Mahomes will probably do everything he can to try and squeak by it. I am like 98% sure that he will play. And so I based my score off of that. And I have the Bills winning 33-31.
So even if he does play, you still think the Bills are going to win?
Yes, I still think the Bills are going to win. Because Mahomes, coming straight off the concussion protocol, he's not going to fully be healthy. He might not adapt really well to noise or the lights in the stadium. I mean, you know how concussions are.
Yeah.
It's definitely going to be really difficult on Mahomes. And the thing is, when the Chiefs lose, typically, they typically lose because they are outgunned, and because the other team builds a lead on them early. I'm pretty confident in the Bills' ability to build a lead on them early. I am a little bit worried that the Ravens defense kind of exposed some things with the Bills offense that Kansas City might try to emulate. I think, this is the thing that worries me the most about picking the Bills here, is that when the Chiefs defense really tries, they're honestly they're like a top 10 unit in the entire league. When they really try, when they're all bought in and when they give their 100%, they are a top 10 unit in the league. That's how they've been playing. So, I just wouldn't be surprised if this was more of a defensive game. I did put it as, a high scoring game. I do think there might be a couple pick sixes here and there. I'm anticipating a little bit of those. But look, this is probably going to be the best game of the week. I'll just put it out there.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, for me personally, I didn't think the divisional games were too exciting this year, but I'm really hoping that the AFC and NFC Championship games will be a lot more exciting than the divisional week was.